So this is my multi-boot, multi-system boot grub. As you can see, I've got a few Linux distros there. We'll boot Ubuntu or even Zorin. Oh, let's try Peppermint. So as you can see, that's booting. So we have a multi-boot disk happening there, and what I'm going to do is show you how I achieve the results of that multi-boot with multi-system. So there we go. G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be having a look at creating a multi-boot USB in Linux. Now you might have seen my little boot USB at the start of this video, which you had multiple selections of Linux operating systems. So I'm going to show you how I created that. First of all, we're going to start off with this website here, pendrivelinux.com, and this is the multi-system create a multiple USB from Linux. So what we need to do is download the multi-system. So we'll download this. So click on download, save file. I've downloaded a few things from Pendrive Linux before. I've tried the Yummy. Yummy was working in Windows. You got your Xboot. Another one that's meant to be good is Sardu. They all get used in Windows, not Linux. So I think a lot of those. So I was making multi-boot systems in Windows with Windows and Linux, booting from legacy, but that's a little bit more difficult when you're trying to do it in UEFI. So that's downloaded. So what we're going to do there is go to downloads. Just let me hide my files. So we're going to extract that. So we've extracted that. So what we're going to do is double click that and run in terminal. Now we have this error xterm. Now if you get that error, what you need to do is either go to your software manager, and I believe it will be in there. We'll look for xterm. There's xterm there. What I normally do when I come across that is I just pretty much, you can click on that and install, or you can do it the terminal way, sudo apt install xterm, which is the same thing. Yep, we install that. So I've seen this xterm installed in some operating systems in Linux, and I quite often wonder what this thing's for. I've never used it, never had a use for it. This is the first time I've ever had a use for xterm. And the reason being is because when you install this, it needs xterm to install. So run this in terminal. Installing multisystem requires administration rights. Okay. Put in our password. So that's where xterm comes into it. And that will install multisystem. Now, when the software sources comes up, just close that. Close it again. and then it will start installing. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so that is Multisystem installed. To start the script, please use the menu Applications, Accessories, Multisystem, and that's it there. So that's it. So if we look through the menu, just to be sure, Multisystem, and that's up and running. Now, I have all my ISOs on my other computer. The only reason I done this Linux Mint install was to show you the error on the Xterm on a fresh install, and that was the same with doing the WoW USB in the previous video as well. So this is just a fresh install on my test laptop, just to show you the installs of those two programs. So that's Multisystem done. So I'm going to move to my other computer, and I'm going to finish this video off there where all my ISO files are. Saves me moving them over. I'm in my other computer now, which is the one that's got all the ISOs. So we're going to create a Multiboot disk. Now, the one that I showed you at the start of the video will be this disk here. I'll just put it in the computer. Now, actually, let me take out my Android phone. I don't need that in there anymore. Okay, that's gone. Okay. So we should have, yep, the A data. Actually, let's take out my A data as well. I don't want that in there. So device can be removed. And let's put in the Multisystem disk. And there it is there, Multisystem, as you can see. Just put that icon down there so you can see it a bit better. Oh, it doesn't want to move down there. Okay. So that's what it looks like, Multisystem. All right, so what we're going to do here is, with the aid of the Mint stick formatter, I'm going to format that disk. So that's a SanDisk, and it's been told that the SanDisk is the best disk to use for multi-booting and stuff, and I've found it to be the most reliable myself. So I wouldn't say that's a myth. I would say it's works pretty well. So I've used only SanDisk most of the time doing this, and I've never had any issues at all. So we'll format that to FAT32 anyway, because it needs to be FAT32 anyway. Okay, so now you can see that, and I think it needs to be there. There you go, USB stick, completely blank now. So I've wiped that disk off, so I won't be able to start anything up on that. So what we're going to do is start up the Multisystem, this one here. Okay, and it gives you a warning that Grub2 will be installed in the MBR. So that's a given. So now let's have a look. We've got some themes here. I don't know what that's all about. I didn't really look too much into this. So let's choose the disk that we need. You can refresh if you've got plenty of disks in here, but you know, doing this sort of stuff, I advise that you just have the one disk that you want to work with, because it can turn pretty ugly if you don't. Alright, so I got an error there. I don't know what that was all about. Only on camera does this happen. What was that all about? Let's try again. Yep, I've selected that. Let's confirm that. Okay, so if the warning had English, I'd probably know what it's talking about. So I don't know what's going on there. That's interesting. Why do these things only happen? I suppose it's got to happen because if somebody gets an error, they will know what it's all about and how to fix it, if I can fix it. So I don't know. I don't remember that happened. Maybe it's got to be unmounted. Let's eject that. So let's try that again. That's probably what that is. I don't know. I don't remember. I must have fluked it the first time with this and the woe USB, I think. So that's not there as well. Please connect the FAT32 formatted USB and mount it in media. Okay. Mount it in media. Then relaunch Multisystem. All right. So that's interesting. Don't recall having to do that, but I would have thought it's mounted in media anyway. So let's have a look. Let's go to Files and File System / Media Data. Oh, that's my data one. USB stick. Yep. Okay, so it's in media. Let's try again. I don't know what's going on here. SDA1. Refresh the disks, they're not there. So let's have a look at this. It doesn't go full screen. Okay. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I think I'm starting to remember what happened. I'm going to go to gparted. This could have been what it was. So because of my let's unmount that. So if you ever need to unmount a disk, you could do that in gparted too. I never thought of that, to show that in another video. I never give that a thought. So if you're not sure how to do it in terminal, you can do it in gparted. Just choose your disk, and remember, if you hover over it, it'll tell you which one it is. That's for people who are very new with Linux anyway. Should tell you that it's SDA or whatever. Not in this case anyway. The other way to do it, I better show people just in case we need to know. LSBLK, list, bulk, and media, USB stick is SDA1. So that's another way to tell. And then sudo blkid and put in your password. Oops, I think I messed that up. And then that gives you a more detailed version of all that. So you've got SDA1 as a USB stick, so you definitely know that's USB. So there's no doubt about that. And the NVMEs are my NVMe SSDs in the system. So that's unmount that, and that's format that to FAT32. I think because with the mint stick, I think it doesn't register correctly or something. So I think that's what may have happened to me last time. I don't know. I'm not having any recollections of that, but we'll see how we go with this one this time. Hopefully this works. Okay. Cancel that. Take that out and put it back in. Okay, so up and running. And let's try multi-system again. I don't know how many times I'm going to go through the menu and open this thing up. Okay, that one there, confirm, and there we go. So we put in our password. It's opened up Xterm. Your USB key did not have a label multi-system. Just fix this. Please unplug, replug your USB and validate this change. Okay. So let's do that. Take the USB out, put it back in, and now it's got multi-system on it. Okay, so what we do now is we open multi-system again. The viewers are getting bored with me opening multi-system. And select your disk and confirm. Please confirm installation grub 2 in the volume. Yes, okay. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. Now, I have to say this is a nice little piece of kit, this one. And the way it works is just too easy. So let's go to downloads, my ISOs. So what do I want to take to Melbourne with me and show my brother his options? Let's go through the list. I'm going to take Deep in with me. I don't know if that was working on here because I didn't try it. Oh yeah, select an ISO or image. You can drag or drop it into here. I'm dropping it into the wrong box. And put in your password. Yeah, you've got to select the box. I don't know why it doesn't focus on the box there. There we go. So off it goes. I'm going to record all this, but I'll give you the short version. Okay, and as you can see, it's got a nice little icon there for the distro that's actually been put in place there, and that's the same for all the others. What have we got? Elementary 5 beta. I better not do that. I might get into trouble. I wonder if the beta actually turns into normal. I won't worry about that. Let's do Linux Mint 19 because that's probably a definite. Linux Mint 19 Cinnamon is done. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I think MX17 didn't want to go. Well, we'll try it anyway. I'm not sure if that worked or not. Oh, focus on the window. Error. Is not support. ISO not supported for now. Okay, so that's that. So we'll move on to Peppermint 9, and I have a feeling it could be a showdown between Peppermint 9 and Linux Mint 19 Cinnamon, possibly. He may surprise me. He may even like Ubuntu. I mean, that works like an Apple or an Android interface. You never know. Okay, Peppermint 9 has done, has finished or complete. Pop OS. He might like Pop OS, but I'm not sure. And now I don't know if he's got AMD 64 or NVIDIA. He might even just have a plain Intel, so I might give that one a miss. Let's try Ubuntu proper, as they call it. Okay, Ubuntu is complete. Let's do Ubuntu Budgie. Focus the window. Okay, so Ubuntu Budgie's done, and the icons are just spot on for everything here. Ubuntu Mate. So we have Ubuntu Mate there, and I'll probably put on Zorin OS as well. At this point, I'm probably just showing off the power of Linux. But Zorin is a nice OS. It's just not my cup of tea, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder, they say. So I'm recording with the phone. And I'm also recording with Simple Screen Recorder, and I'll probably split the audio again from this one if I can. So I'm going to try and hold it still as I can. We'll finish this one off. Really nice little application. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to close this off. So I'm going to eject that disk right here, and device should not be unplugged. Now device can be removed. Okay, so we're going to remove the device out of there, put it into here, just so you can physically see what I've been doing. Turn this on, and hopefully we get the same menu as we did at the start of the video, which would be really handy. Otherwise, I'll be looking a bit red-faced. And there we go. So we've got exactly the same menu as before, because that's exactly what I had in there. So let's just try booting Ubuntu Budgie for starters. And we have Ubuntu Budgie up and running. There's their nice little welcome screen there. Yeah, quit that, and I'll shut down as well. Shut down. And we'll do one more. I'm interested to see if dpen works, which will be directly starting from an install. And that'll also just confirm that, yep, everything on there is booting. So let's try Deepin. See if that boots. I'm not sure if it'll work with this. And we have Deepin working, so if they're working, everything else will be working. So that's good. Got to be happy with that. And that's booting under UEFI. Although there's nothing happening at the moment anyway. No, it's not working. So let's turn that off. And let's just try that again. Maybe Deepin doesn't work on here. I did have it error out on another multi-boot, but I'm not sure if I've had this working before or not. Gotta love how professional this menu is, this boot menu. It's brilliant. Really nice. We'll see if this one works. No. Some ISOs just don't like to be on a multi-boot, and obviously this is one of them. Ubuntu Mate. So there's Ubuntu Mate. Okay, so we've tried a few of these distros here, but 2 ISOs failed. Let's just start this disk back up, this multi-system. So I just want to have a look. Deepin would not start. So I'm just having a look at what we can do here. So now I'm looking at if I can, oh, here we go. So what's this do? Testing, that's testing QEMU. So that obviously didn't work. Let's try another one. Oh, wrong password. So that doesn't, QEMU doesn't even work anyway. Test in VirtualBox. Remove an operating system. So let's remove, what other options do we have here? Download live DVDs, update grub 2. So you can change the name in the bootloader, that's all that does. You can change the name, that's all it does. We can test that in VirtualBox, let's try that. So Deepin didn't work. Oh, well there's the, oh, you can show the VirtualBox, the menu in VirtualBox, right. Okay, so there you go. I didn't have to record the power off. Okay. So I had failed, Zorin failed and Deepin failed. So let's just remove those from the system. Let's see. Deepin, and you are deleting. Yep, confirm that. Okay, so Deepin has been removed, and I will remove Zorin OS as well. Confirm that. And what I may do is I may get the 2 ISOs for Pop OS and maybe put them on there, and then because I know they've got an NVIDIA and an AMD 64, which you've probably seen on my files there, and there is an Intel one as well, I believe. I think it's an Intel. So where are they? It's downloads ISO. So I have a Pop OS, AMD 64 NVIDIA, and I think the other one is Intel, I think. So and I can take both, that way I can boot the one up that suits his laptop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not every ISO is going to work. For some reason Zoran is saying that there's an error with Windows or something like that, so I'm not running Windows, so I don't know what the error is all about. So yeah, I could probably try write it again, but that's how you install and that's how you remove. So the multi-system disk is working well, and except for Deepin was an unsuccessful boot, so it probably just doesn't like the multi-boot situation. I think that's right. I think I had that problem with that before, but you never know, it might work on another computer. I can try it on my main one maybe. But that's pretty much how you use multi-system in Linux, and make your own multi-boot USB. That's going to come in handy for me, just to show my brother a few different distros that he can have a choice of, and hopefully he can be happy just, you know, surfing the internet, doing his emails and all that sort of thing, and nothing overcomplicated. So, and something that'll be rock solid for him, because I'll be a fair way away. Maybe I'll have to put TeamViewer on there or something. I've never used that before, but works reasonably well from what I've seen. So just in case he does have one or two issues here and there, but if I choose the right one, which would be any of those really, at the end of the day should be fine. He shouldn't have any problems. So I hope you enjoyed this video on creating a multi-boot USB. Hope you found it informative, and thank you for watching.